You're watching Back Pages tonight, and welcome back to John Cross from the Daily Mirror and Jeremy Wilson from the Telegraph. Right, we're going to go to France now, talk about Kylian Mbappe on the back of L'Equipe. And Jeremy, I mean, he doesn't want to sign an extension to his contract. PSG not at all happy. What do you make of this?
Well, it's potentially the biggest sort of transfer story of the summer, and it will have reverberations across lots of clubs' planning if PSG don't find a resolution with Mbappe and they decide to sell him. You'd think they would have to sell him if that's the picture at the moment, because obviously he could leave for nothing next season if he's allowed to play out the remaining year of his contract. It feels like the end game for him is, and has been maybe for some time, is Real Madrid. Sort of, the power often is with the players in these situations. Haaland was more or less able to manoeuvre everything so he could get the clubs that he wanted, and the agents now set up the deals in such a way it's difficult for the clubs to really just say, we'll take the highest bid. So it feels like that's what Mbappe wants to do. Whether something could change with Manchester United, what's going on with their ownership situation, a different club could come in and try and exploit the situation, but Real Madrid look like the favourites. And I guess the other side of it is just what it means for PSG. We talked a lot about Manchester City, and PSG have had all similar amounts of money thrown at a project, and Messi's obviously off this summer, doubts over Neymar. They've not won the Champions League, and Mbappe clearly wants to go. And I think it just shows again the importance of Guardiola in it. You can spend a lot of money on players, but you still need to get every piece in the jigsaw right. And it feels like there's a massive rebuild that will be needed at PSG as well. And they'll need to get those positions around the manager and the manager right, as well as just bringing in big players like they have done.
John, Mbappe on the move. It doesn't get much bigger than that. We've seen what's happened with Haaland.
Yeah, absolutely. I, like Jeremy, feel as if Mbappe at some stage in his career, has always eyed Real Madrid. And we shouldn't forget, that basically this is almost, part 46 in this long-running saga, because PSG actually deserve a lot of credit, for keeping Mbappe in the past when basically he seemed certain to go to Real Madrid. So they played it well then, and they'll have to play it well again this summer to manage this situation, to make sure that in a year's time, if he's not going to renew, they don't lose him on that free transfer as a free agent. So they have to plan it well. But I do feel as if there's an element of it feels inevitable that at some stage he'll end up there. But what I would say is that those sort of kind of relations can't be particularly good between those two clubs, really, can they? And so, I think PSG, if it happens, it will have to be on their terms as well. It's amazing detail in this story that basically the letter was only delivered, we're told from the reports, and indeed your reporter Carves was saying about that earlier as well, that the letter was delivered this afternoon, and by early evening this is coming out in France. L'Equipe sort of kind of writing this story, which just shows you clearly that certain people, obviously it's in their interest and their desire to get that news out there as quickly as possible, to kind of make it the story of the summer, if you like, to kind of put those wheels in motion. So it's going to be a real test for PSG, but as I say, they have handled it well in the past, so it'll be interesting to see what sort of test that they now face.